Hello, I'm Jim Pezzavano with Home123, your technology and marketing services partner. I wanted to take a quick minute and just talk about using mobile tag in your listing presentations to increase your closing percentages. First of all, I've been a real estate broker for over 10 years, and I've never seen the type of listing shortage that we're experiencing right now. And we train thousands of real estate agents all over the country. It doesn't make a difference if you're in Florida, Tennessee, Chicago. We've seen it everywhere. There's just not a lot of listing opportunities out there. So when you have an opportunity to actually sit down with a client, talk about selling their property, very important that you pull out all the stops and do everything that you can. And that's where customizing our mobile tag system can really help you out and help you win some listings. First of all, when I sit down with the client, the first thing I want to let them know is that I'm going to be mobilely marketing their property. A lot of folks don't know exactly what that means, but that's basically just converting property and listing information about me and my brand and their property and converting it into a mobile platform and making sure it's easily accessible by potential buyers so they can always have access to that information regardless of how they like to use their mobile device. Now, folks out there call, they text, they scan. Those are all ways that you can access information utilizing a mobile device, and every phone on the planet can do one of those three things. What I want to make sure is that I'm giving my clients the best exposure possible and making sure that their property can be viewed in any of those different formats. Okay, so I'll let them know that mobile marketing is critical, and the main reason why is mobile technology is the fastest growing technology in human history. And right now in the real estate business specifically, over half of real estate website searches are being done on a mobile device. So when you think about it, I'm only getting half the opportunities that are out there if I'm not mobile marketing. That alone should let a seller know how critical mobile marketing is and mobile technology is to selling their home. In addition to that, it does give potential buyers the ability to access information in a frictionless environment. So in other words, they can go ahead and they can access data about your property without having to talk to me. And I'd love to talk to buyers, but to be honest with you, even when it comes to a sign, 7 out of 10 buyers will not go ahead and contact my name and my number or my information based on a sign because they just don't want to talk to a real estate agent. They want property information very simply and very easily. So that's where our technology comes into play. We go ahead and we provide sign writers just like these, and I show this to somebody like Mrs. Jones and say, Mrs. Jones, you can see I have 3 different ways for consumers to access information about your property. They can call, they can text, they can scan. This is 24/7 information that they always have access to. And what I like to do is actually take Mrs. Jones's property and link it to this particular series of codes. So Mrs. Jones will go ahead and test the system. I'll have her go ahead and send this code to this number. This is just a sample here, but whatever I happen to use. And immediately she sees her own property, and her jaw drops. And I like to tell Mrs. Jones, I've already started marketing your property. I've started building you a mobile site already. Now, if you were to go ahead and take that mobile website and forward it via our share tools that we have on our system to somebody who opened it up on a desktop, for example, you'd see a completely different website. Renders differently, has maps, all kinds of different information. That's because I've already started building you a desktop site as well. So before I even have Mrs. Jones's listing and I have her business, I'm showing her that I'm going the extra mile. Not only am I going to use mobile marketing to attract people that 9 out of 10 agents aren't going to be able to attract, but in addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and show her that I've started building a desktop site and a mobile site of her property before even starting to work on her property as her listing agent. This usually they find very, very impressive, and right away they know that I'm committed to selling their property. Okay, great opportunity as well. She'll go ahead and she'll test this. She'll see her property. She'll be floored that her property is there, and that's very simple to do. All we do is take a front elevation shot of her home and just load it into our back-end system, and she sees her property. Before I can even get through explaining much of this, after she tests this, what's going to happen is my phone's going to ring. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to answer my phone, and I'm going to show her real quick some information on the screen, and it's going to be her phone number and her information and her address, because she's going to see that I've captured her information instantly because she inquired about the property. And that part is absolutely critical. When she sees that I'm responding within seconds to that opportunity, that's when I let her know that you have 20 times better of a chance of closing somebody as a prospect to buy a property when you respond within minutes versus hours. And I'm going to be responding not in minutes, but in seconds. immediately I'm going to be following up with that prospect. If I happen to be in the neighborhood, I'll absolutely contact Mrs. Jones and let her know we have somebody who wants to see the property right away. So those type of tools are invaluable. They win listings, and they certainly show prospects that we're willing to go the extra mile before even being hired. And that, along with your normal listing presentation, should make a big difference in making sure that when you do finally get that opportunity to sit down with somebody, you win the listing every time.